Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Wednesday, it is November the 16th. I hope that you're doing great this morning. I have got my lovely cup of green tea this morning and getting ready for a really good day. Hope you've got something fun planned yourselves and lots of interesting things happening now. We're getting closer to the holidays and it just becomes a nice busy time. It's a time for family and friends and for community. And so I want to thank you all for being here on Mornings with 60 and Me. Tell your friends, just send them up to 60andme.com/mornings and they can get the news first and you can chat about the stories that we share. And today I'm going to share a story with you that was written by one of my very favorite writers and bloggers. Her name is Anne Brenoff, and she works for the Huffington Post, HuffPost 50, which is one of the sections of Huffington Post that's designed specifically for people over 50. And she writes really fun articles. And this one really captured my eye because it was about the 11 ways to know if you've become a middle-aged cliche. And she talks about, this kind of midlife crisis that, often we have in our 50s and 60s, and says, putting aside all the traditional cliches about, men buying a red Corvette or dating younger women, it's like that's one set of cliches. But here she gives 11 really fun things to ask yourself. Are you doing these things? Have you become a middle-aged cliche? And of course we laugh about this, but some of them are quite, they represent a stereotype that we are challenging all the time on 60 and Me. That's kind of what we try to do here, to present aging as a positive, forward-thinking experience. But these are just for fun. So I'll go through them one at a time, and you can just make notes as we go if you'd like, and leave comments, share with each other. So the first thing is, your retirement plans include a kiln or a guitar or something that you've always wanted to do. I always wanted to play a banjo for some peculiar reason, I don't know why, or a harp. I always had these crazy dreams. So does your retirement plan involve something wacky like that? We want to be like, what's that film with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin? It's like Grace and Frankie. The character Frankie, who's like always playing all these mysterious instruments and doing hippie things, things that you didn't do in your 50s. Now you've retired, you can do them. So that's one cliche. Another one is, a cliche is that you believe that cruises are the best way to travel. Do you remember when you were younger and you said, I'm never going on a cruise, or, cruises aren't for me, I'm not a cruise kind of girl? Well, now you're saying it's the best way to travel because you get on the boat, one suitcase, you unpack once, you get taken around from place to place, and don't have to worry about anything. Just everything's taken care of for you, and that's another middle-aged stereotype or a cliche that Anne Brenoff talks about. Another thing she says is that you want a walking pole for Christmas. That you're now beginning to feel those little achy limbs as you try to navigate high hills in your city, or when you go for a weekend walk, that you want to bring a little ski pole along with you so that you don't fall over, or give you that little extra strength. But that's another cliche. And then this is a fun one. This is when you are finding that eating dinner past 6:30 feels really late. Remember the days where you would just stay up for hours and talk to friends and have long dinners? Now after 6:30, it starts to feel like you're just a little bit too old, a little too late. It's too late in the evening. So that's that's something that I think a lot of people would agree with, or at least can relate to. The other thing is, you need a really good reason to stay awake past 10 o'clock. That you and Netflix curl up in bed together, and that's how you spend your evenings most time. Another cliche. That's not true. We know that's not true. But according to Anne, it's another one of those famous cliches that people expect to become in midlife. The other thing is, you haven't used your good china in years. Do you remember when you had, you used to have friends and family come over for dinner and you pull out the good china, or you'd have like 3 different sets of plates, full sets, and you'd bring them out and set the table. You haven't used that china in years, and that's another cliche. Actually, I did when I did my downsizing project, I had so many Christmas ornament collections. I had the blue theme, the fish theme, the white theme, the pink theme. And I actually did give them all away, and I just get a little Christmas tree, and whatever the color of the season is, I buy little bulbs, or I decorate. I make them myself. But anyway, that's another thing. Just get rid of that old china or let it go. Another thing is you have an orange Le Creuset Dutch oven, but you've never used it. It was on sale. These are the things that are in your garage, right? These are things to maybe give to someone who could use an orange Le Creuset oven. And those things we bought on sale that we just keep packaged up in the cupboard. The other thing is when you pass an RV on the road, you look inside to see that the driver is older than you. It's that sort of mixed message of like, that getting an RV and driving around the country might be a cliche for middle age. It's what you do. But then you want to make sure that you're not the oldest one that is doing it, that you're still young and free and, that check someone's older than you. Did you do that? I don't know if any of these are actually relevant to you or if you're resonating with them, but I just think they're kind of funny. So anyway, that's another thing that you just want to check out, that the RV driver next to you is older. Another thing that we do as a middle-aged cliche, according to Anne, is keep buying the same clothes. I have to be a little guilty of this because I've always been of the belief that anything below the waist has to be black. Black pants, black skirt, tights, black. And the top can be colorful, but the bottom is black. And this is, of course, that I keep buying the same pants, the same skirts. Those flowy ones are made out of jersey. It's my taste. But do you ever do that? Just keep buying the same clothes, same T-shirts? This is something that she says. Just, basically, if you don't agree with it, just don't deal with it. I'm wearing black. And that we just sort of get into grooves, into routines. And I'm sure that's not true of all of you, because I know some of you love fashion, accessorizing, and it's all good. Now, another thing she says, this is number 10. When the phone rings after 9 p.m., you immediately think it's the wrong number. or you think something's bad. Like your phone doesn't ring in the evening anymore, so anytime it does, you are worried. And that's another cliche, another stereotype. And finally, and this is kind of a strange one, but she says that you immediately want to know the cause of death for anyone younger than you. This is the season, really, isn't it? When you get a little older, you start losing friends and family, of course, and I'm not trying to make light of it at all. But she says, when you start losing friends, you're kind of relieved if it was an accident. Because, of course, good health is on our minds. We do everything we can to stay healthy, but things happen. So when someone that we know or we read about dies, we want to say, was it an accident? And then feel, at least it wasn't a health problem that you can relate to. So that's it. I just think that those are super funny. And as I said before, stereotypes and cliches are not what we're all about here on 60andMe. But I could relate to some of those. Could you? Anyway, my question for today is just to simply ask you, what other aging stereotypes do you feel you have to watch for and challenge? What aging stereotypes do you feel that you have to watch for and challenge? During the conversation, just leave your thoughts in the section below and jump in, read each other's comments and, just have some fun with this one today. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you all back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60andMe. Bye-bye for now.